So first up, we have a FreeBiz Traveler laptop backpack. Now, I've never heard of FreeBiz before. It's probably just a Chinese company I've never heard of. So the goal for getting this backpack, I certainly have enough backpacks and I don't need any more. The problem was that the Swissgear laptop backpack that I have would not accommodate my HP Omen PC. It's actually just doesn't close. So I needed a new backpack that would accommodate the computer, and also I wanted to take my Oculus Rift outside of my house. That was pretty much the basic reason why I bought that gaming laptop, and I want to be able to bring it out. So not only will I put the PC in here, my laptop, but I will be putting, if not the entire Oculus Rift in here, definitely many of the components of it. So let's take a quick tour around this backpack here. So you have a little area here where you can, I don't know, latch keys onto it or something like that. You have these clips here that can, I guess, help expand the backpack. You can constrict it a little bit more, so you have some straps going on here. You have, obviously, the color scheme is red, predominantly black with red accents. You have your FreeBiz Traveler branding up top here on a little metal brand there, and it's on a rubber backing. The material here seems sturdy enough. I really am not going to be beating this up, and I'm not going to be carrying it around on a regular basis. I just want something that's going to be protecting my laptop, and again, the size was the main factor in purchasing it. Also, the price was good. The price, the size, and the user ratings on it. So you have your zippers here with the FreeBiz branding on it, and they seem sturdy enough thus far. Opening things up down here, we have a pocket with FreeBiz branding all inside here. And you have areas for pens, pencils, whatnot, little pockets in here. Typically in a front pocket like this, if I'm using a backpack, laptop backpack, and I'm traveling, maybe overnight somewhere, I might put, you know, my toiletries in here. I don't find I really ever need a pen. I know if you're a student, you would want something like this. Also in this area, I might put maybe cords and things like that. Everything seems, you know, there's some padding to this, so it seems like there is some protection there. It has an area for keys here. And I don't know if this detaches. Yeah, it actually detaches, so that's pretty cool. You can put this on your key ring and then just attach it in here. Slides in on this plastic piece, if you can see that here. And there you go. Then you can put your keys in there. So that's pretty useful, especially if you're a student. We have another pocket up here with the same zipper on it, the FreeBiz zipper. It's a small area up here. I don't know, maybe you'd want to put your cell phone up here or whatnot. It's a smaller, much smaller pocket there. You have some other pockets on the side here, very small pockets. It's always good to have these kind of little areas on a backpack because, you know, personally I could think of putting cords, adapters, things like that, of the smaller variety in these small pockets. Then on the side here you have another pocket down here, and you have FreeBiz since 2008 or 2008. And let's see, it's time to play is what it says right there. And then it says, it actually has the http://SUOGAO. Oh wow, that's quite a quite a URL there. So sugo1688.com. So that's the branding on the side there. Now, interestingly enough, you have a USB port here. That is pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever seen something like that before, where you have a USB port on a backpack. I'll have to explore that a little bit more. Let's take a look on the other side here. I would imagine that the pockets are replicated on this end here. So we have the upper pocket and the lower pocket here. So definitely a lot of storage space in here, and you actually have a strap, an expandable elastic strap in here. So I could see if I was still going to school, this would be an awesome backpack. It's huge, and it's got a lot of little storage compartments in it. So that pretty much looks like the back of the backpack, except up here you have a handle. You have this big rubber handle, and you have a cable inside, not the size of a cable that you would see in a Swiss Gear backpack, but you do have that cable in this plastic here, and then you have a metal mount on there as well as a fabric mount. So I remember when I was going to school, I would wear through a backpack pretty quickly. You just kind of, I don't know. I've done a lot of home improvement too, and I wear through gloves a lot too there. So I'm not very careful when it comes to those kind of things. So I remember straps always breaking and things like that, because you kind of might have a lot of books or something, a lot of notebooks, laptop, whatever in there, and yeah, it wears out pretty quickly, and I wasn't that careful back then. But so it's always good to see when you have something reinforced like that on an area where you're going to be using it on a regular basis. Obviously, I'm not going to be putting this through a stress test because I'm going to be very gentle with this backpack. You might have noticed on my Swiss Gear backpack, it looks brand new, and it's not. It's actually several years old, and that's because I don't use it a lot, and when I do, I'm very careful with it. But it's good to know that it's, it has some reinforcements there. Again, it's not the size of a cable that you would have on a Swiss Gear backpack, but that's to be expected for the price. So up top here, you do have that little area where you can feed some headphones through. You can see that there. And I don't know, you might have to put a hole in there. We'll see. No, maybe not. We'll open that up in a second. So let's take a tour, or finish the tour on the outside of the backpack. You have these straps here. They aren't as padded as you would find necessarily on other laptop backpacks, but it is a padded strap here. You have these little areas here where you can kind of slip things behind. You have the shock absorbing technology in the shoulder pad here, and that's very similar to what you would find right here. Looks like the same piece of rubber there. Maybe not the same exact technology, but I'm okay with that. Up here you have a loop where you can hang a backpack. Of course, a backpack of this size, you might not want to hang it if you have a lot of heavy things in it. Now the back of this is padded, not to the degree that you would find on another laptop backpack of a higher price or higher quality. You do have that rigid back. I can feel it here. You have some padding on the bottom here, and then it looks like you have another pocket down here as well. So you can stash stuff in here. This is actually kind of a good pocket because this is protected. So if you're wearing this backpack, this is a hidden pocket, because not many people think, or at least I don't think, of having a pocket in this area of the backpack. So it would be more secure. So if I was traveling with a backpack like this, and maybe I had a passport or something, or important things I didn't want necessarily easily accessed, you might want to put it in there. Let's just check out the two major pockets here. The one on the front, which should run the length of the backpack here. All right, so in here you have some red mesh on the inside. It's a huge pocket back here, so you can fit a lot of stuff in here. And again, I'm going to try and fit a lot of the Oculus stuff in here. Then you have a pocket here, a pocket here. This is neoprene here, and it's sort of a little flap here. Then it has an area here for, what does it say here? Your headphones and your media player. It doesn't actually say it in English. I can't read that. That is in, what is it, Cantonese, or it's Chinese. I apologize. I'm not fluent in other languages. I was always good in every subject I ever took except foreign languages. So it actually shows an iPhone here. You have an outline of an iPhone. So you would put your device in there, and then presumably feed the headphones up through here. But looks like you have to cut through that in order to use that. So I'm not going to be doing that. It's not something, I'm not a headphone guy, but it is an option for you if you are. So it's a nice little media packet here, and then you have this sort of mesh area here for things you want to segregate from other areas of the pack, and this large compartment here. So that's always good to have sub-compartments in a compartment, because you know, it helps. It's funny when you travel around and you have something in there, but you got a lot of things in there and it's hard to find. So it's good to have sub compartments back there. So let's look at the last compartment here, which is your laptop area here. So this is the USB here, which was very interesting. So you actually have a USB cord that mounts to this side here. I personally can't think of a use for it, because basically it's just a USB extension cable. But let me know if you could think of a use for it. Maybe because you would, could plug it into your laptop and maybe charge something off of it. That might be, charge it off of the laptop battery, or you could, plug this into an external battery pack and then charge off of that. So that might be something. I actually have an external battery pack that I could use that with, so that's interesting. So you have in this area here, you have some compartments here with this red mesh again. Large area down here, and then up here, of course, is where you're going to fit the laptop. So the moment of truth, I think it's going to be fine, but the entire reason that I purchased this is to fit the Omen laptop, which has cat hair on it. Put the Omen laptop in here, and certainly enough space in there. I think it fits up to an 18-inch laptop. I don't know, let's see what it says on here. Freebiz. Business Casual Bags Expert. So a lot of it is in Chinese up here. Maintenance instructions, 1-year guarantee, important notes. So it's not saying, at least in English, what the size of the backpack is, but I do think it can accommodate up to 18 inches, something like that. So overall, not the quality you would find on a Swissgear backpack, but also not the price. And it's going to do the job that this backpack could not do. As you can see here, I might be able to force it to close, but I'm not going to subject my $1,000 laptop to being right on the corner here of this backpack. Like I said, I might be able to force that closed, but no. Not going to do that. So up next we have another Christmas gift, again for my nephew. Resident Evil Biohazard, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition. Now obviously this came out a couple of years ago. I played through it in VR, which was one of the scariest experiences in my gaming career, if you can call it a career. My nephew is just getting into the age where he's interested in horror, so I thought, well, why not give it a try? He didn't ask for this, but I thought, well, this might be a good way to introduce him to the Resident Evil universe. So I got that for him. Obviously, in 2018, you can get good deals on this just normally, and I bought it for Black Friday. So up next, we have a Sony XAV AX3000 Android Auto head unit. So I'm going to be putting this into my car. Actually, I'm going to have it put in there. I could do it myself, but by purchasing this from Best Buy, I got free installation, so why not? I don't actually have the free time to devote to installing this myself, even though I don't think it would be that difficult. So when you get a device like this, most of them nowadays are either CarPlay, Apple CarPlay, or Android Auto capable. So whatever phone that you do plug into it, that's the interface that you do get. So I do know people with iPhones. I'm an Android guy, so it'll be interesting to try both of those out. Now, because I was debating if I'm going to unbox this in this video or if I'm going to have a separate video for it, and I think I've decided to do a separate unboxing on this because I think this video is going to run long enough without me having to unbox this as well. So I'm going to unbox it, give you a little bit more explanation as to what I'm going to do with it, and then once it's installed, you know, we'll take a look at the functions of it. I think I got a good deal on it. I've always, you know, wanted to upgrade my radio in my car. In the previous car, I buy used cars. I'll never buy, well, I don't want to say never, but I'm not somebody who would waste money on cars. When I was younger, I cared about cars. Nowadays, I want reliable transportation, so I buy used cars. And the previous car, I had a Clarion unit in there, head unit. I did a video on this channel on it. But I sold that car, got another used car, and I'm going to be putting this in it, obviously. Kind of missed having a head unit that had a GPS in it. And, you know, since Android Auto has been around for a couple of years now, I did want to give it a try, even though it's... probably there could be major improvements done with, I don't know, from what I hear with CarPlay. There's things that could be done that aren't necessarily being done in this realm that I want to try out, and then I'll have my suggestions. Not necessarily that anybody's going to listen to those suggestions, but just kind of to voice my opinion on what I think needs to be done. But it'll definitely be an upgrade to be able to listen to podcasts through my stereo on the car, listen to music, be able to take phone calls through it. So that's really, you know, what I'm looking forward to, having this in there, and I'm going to have it installed later on this month. So, you know, it's a Sony unit. It's, we'll see if there's anything of note to talk about here. Mostly touch screen. You have a couple of buttons on the front. There are no front-mounted jacks on it, so you have to work a USB into the back of it. It'll be interesting to see when I open this up. My biggest question is, on all the pictures, you just see the front plate here. You don't see the back of the head unit, and usually a head unit is about the size of this box, so I'm going to assume it does have a big back end to it. But you know, that'll be the first thing I'm looking for when I finally unbox this. But let's see, we've got 55 times 4 watts, 55 watts times 4 max power. That would be times your 4 speakers. Extra bass, 3 pre-out. I'm not a huge car stereo guy, so, and I'm not an audiophile. I just kind of want good audio. I'm not looking for the best, so hopefully this will be adequate for my situation. I am not going to be upgrading my stock speakers in the car, and I know probably the techs when they install this will be saying you should, but I'm fine with that. So it works with CarPlay, obviously Android Auto as well. Bluetooth enabled, can put a Sirius satellite radio subscription on here. I used to, a long time ago when Sirius first came out, Sirius and XM, I was a Sirius subscriber, but I don't really, maybe I'll do it, but I don't really think in this day and age it's necessary, although there's a lot of good programming there. So next up, we have a new router. Now, the router I have is very sufficient for what I need. However, I wanted to upgrade my router for a year or two now, just to add some of the newer bands on there. This is an AC router. It's a tri-band router. It looks kind of very aggressive. I don't really care about the way it looks. I want to know how it performs. So I will be unboxing this separately as well. I don't want to take the time out in this video because I think it'll just really run long. This model has been out for several years now. I have a Netgear router currently, so I'm going to stick with Netgear. I'm not really looking forward to setting this up because there's some devices in the house that set up to it automatically, and I'm going to have to go through all of that, resetting it up, because when I do get a new router, I change my passwords and things like that. So I don't have that day penciled in yet when I'm actually going to do this, because it's going to take a couple hours to get everything squared away, probably. So, but this is the Nighthawk X6 AC 3200 tri-band Wi-Fi router. It's model number R8000. It has 3.2 gigabits per second Wi-Fi speed, new cloud app, We'll see if that's any use to me. There's probably a lot of functions on this that probably not going to use. I just wanted an AC router that is going to be able to accommodate more devices as I start getting more smart devices in the house and things like that. Got a branding here, new circle with Disney, smart parental controls. I don't really think I'll need that. So again, the main reason for this is just to accommodate more devices in my house. I really like the router I have, but you know, when I find that I have a lot of devices going at the same time, especially in the further reaches of the house where I have a house, I have an old Victorian house where I have the router on the first floor, then I have a second floor, then I have a walk-up attic where I have an 8-foot projection screen and all that stuff, and I also have an office up there where I edit all my videos. So when I get to the further reaches of the house there, and maybe there are certain things that I'm using in the house, it kind of slows things down sometimes. So that's the whole reason for this. You got the Netgear branding up top. On the side here, kind of just talks about security here, system requirements, warranty, Netgear Genie app. So hopefully it's gonna, you know, be pretty quick and easy to set this up. I remember setting up my previous router itself was not that painful. It's just going to be, you know, getting all the devices synced with it, which is going to be sort of a pain. So on the back of the box here, it talks about gaming, streaming, and mobile. Tri-band Wi-Fi provides 3 dedicated Wi-Fi bands. You have the legacy devices, which are the 2.4 gigahertz devices up to 600 megabits per second. Then you have the second band, which is a 5 gigahertz spectrum up to 1.3 gigabits per second. This is dual band Wi-Fi devices. And then you have the AC devices, which is Wi-Fi band 3, again 5 gigahertz up to 1.3 gigabits per second. On this side we have package contents, dimensions, technical specifications. Maybe you can read that if you're interested. Let me see if I see any highlights here. So it says Smart Connect intelligently selects the fastest Wi-Fi for every device, 6 high-performance external antennas, high-power amplifiers. So it's sort of like a mini computer, as routers are these days. It has 128 megabytes of flash memory and 256 megabytes of RAM. So last but not least, we have a SteelSeries Quick Heavy Cloth Gaming Mousepad. This is going to be probably a bit larger than I even thought it was going to be. It's going to be one of those probably that runs under the keyboard. I do have a large, I believe it's Myonix gaming mouse that I got for review on this channel years ago that I'm using as my mouse pad for my editing rig. And it's actually not cloth. It's made of a material, plastic material. When you use it a lot, it can smooth it out a little bit, and it can also make it a little bit shiny, and laser mice don't react well on shiny surfaces, so in that area it became less useful, and so I flipped the mouse pad around and I've been using that, and it's been fine ever since. But I saw such a good deal on this and I thought, why not replace the mouse pad. Again, I didn't realize it was going to be this big, but let's get this thing open. All right, so this is a very thick mouse pad here, thicker than most, and it's made out of mouse pad material, as you would expect. So this is huge. This is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. With the picture that I saw on the site there, does not do it justice how big this is. I guess I should have looked at the dimensions, but I'm not even going to be able to get it in this full shot here. You have the SteelSeries branding over here in the corner, and then which looks sort of like an eye or a turtle with its feet in the back mixed with the target. I don't know, whatever. That's the logo there. And it's got good heft to it. Again, it's thick. It's you know, it's made out of neoprene, so it's a nice mouse pad. It's huge though. It's huge, and you would expect that it is an extra large mouse pad, but there you go. So that's definitely something you can put your keyboard on and do whatever you need to do on it. On the back here, we have the SteelSeries logo there, branding. It's already starting to pick up junk from the table here, but it's nice and grippy. So, you know, this thing is not going to be moving anywhere. So let's take a tour around the box here. SteelSeries Quick Heavy Cloth Gaming Mousepad, extra thick non-slip rubber base, exclusive micro-woven cloth, and for optical and laser sensors. #1 choice in esports. So, of course, we've got double XL, and I'm not surprised by looking at this thing. It is definitely a double XL mousepad. On this part of the box, it kind of goes over the dimensions. You can see here that the material is a cloth surface with a non-slip rubber base, and the thickness is 4 millimeters or 0.16 inches. The dimensions are 900 by 400 millimeters or 35.43 inches by 15.75 inches. So you can see here, let's show you that little picture there, the size of a medium mouse pad, a large mouse pad, and an extra large mouse pad. I think the one that I have currently is either a medium or a large, but this is going to be definitely an interesting experience. You can see here that they offer several different sizes. Choose the right Quick for you. You got the Quick, which is low profile, easy travel cloth surface, which is probably one of the smaller ones. Quick Heavy, extra thick for maximum wrist comfort. And then you have the Quick Edge, extended durability with stitched edges, which I've never really had a mouse pad fray too much on me. Then you have the Quick Prism, which has RGB light zones, which I think is a little excessive for my needs, but, you know, to each his own or to each her own. Quick Hard, which is the low friction for fast gameplay styles. So I believe right now I have the hard style of mouse pad, and I really like it, but again, like I said, it's starting to wear the surface a little bit, which makes the mouse a little less effective. But I think this mouse pad, provided it fits on my desk, is going to be a nice addition to my editing rig. So there we go. That's going to do it for this video. I think I squeezed everything into this final shot here. This is the final pickups video that I'm going to be doing for Black Friday for this year. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. I'd like to, again, hear if you thought that I got any good deals, or, you know, if you got any good deals on Black Friday. At the time of posting this video, Black Friday is a couple of weeks ago, so, you know, that's going to be it for this year. Of course, look out for next year when I do this again, provided I want something on Black Friday that year. But, you know, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like what you see, always you can subscribe to this channel. If you want to help out this channel, you can give me a thumbs up. You can share this video on your favorite social media, or you can actually join my Patreon, all of which is greatly appreciated. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.